Hi, guys. I'm excited about this week's discussion topic of generational diversity. I watched Chip's TED Talk with interest. And when I was first watching it, I really had this thought that what he was describing from his experience at Airbnb was kind of a utopia. I walk into a lot of law firms and I see their teams, and I struggle to see the utopia that he was describing, where there is this very trusting pipeline of information that flows both ways, that allows, everybody to be both an intern and a mentor. And I thought, I don't know that I can see it. And then I gave it some more thought and thought back to a time in my early career. In fact, my first job out of college that ended up being a job where I stayed for almost 17 years and really made a home and developed my career. I was in my early 20s, just out of college, and was hired by a gentleman in his mid 80s. He was a fascinating individual who started a software company in his late 60s when he absolutely could have been retired and moved on, but he really embodied that spirit of lifelong learning. He really became a pivotal mentor for me in my career, taught me so much about business and just the approach to work in general. I very much enjoyed learning from him. And he really did push me out of my comfort zone and really functioned in that mentorship kind of role for me. But as I thought back to it, I realized, we did have a very trusting relationship. And I hope that there was a pipeline flow both ways, as Chip described, where we both were both interns and mentors. I really helped him with how to use his cell phone. It was a software company, and we came out with new releases frequently. And I would teach him, these are what the new releases mean. This is how you use it. This is how you describe it to a client. So I really hope, I know I certainly gained quite a bit from that relationship that has absolutely helped me in my career. But in looking back, I hope that he gained something from that as well and was able to use that, human to human connection. He actually talked a lot about his values and what he thought and how important he thought it was to have friends in every generation. And he described it like that: friends in every generation. He had grandchildren. He had a golf foursome that was a very generationally diverse group of people that all talked business once a week during their golf rounds. And so I think we maybe did live that utopia. And maybe I was quick to judge Chip's TED Talk as not possible. But thinking back in my own life, I do think it was possible. I really believe that it needs to be based on a very solid foundation of trust, though. I don't think the intergenerational pipeline of flow of wisdom works if you don't have people who are willing to put themselves out there and willing to really trust in their teammates. And in the article, one thing that I was hoping that we could all discuss, I'd really like to hear other people's perspectives on this, was when they talked about the differences between what blue collar workers and professional workers expect out of a job, and how the generational gap became so much less for the blue collar workers. And it got me thinking about something Miracle said last week about paying people a livable wage. And, it's hard for, I think, and I think she was trying to articulate too, that it's hard for people to find meaning in work and really go deep into continuing education if their basic needs are not being met, if they're worried about how to make ends meet. I know that I grew up in a very blue collar family. My dad was a welder, my mom cleaned houses, and my parents very much have that approach to work and tried to instill that approach in me, that you toe the company line, you are loyal to the company, and you do what they tell you. And I did not go into blue collar work, and I am part of Generation X. I certainly don't have those same feelings that my parents do, but I wonder if that would be different if I had gone into more of a blue collar job, and therefore my family may have influenced me, and maybe my socioeconomic status may have influenced me more. I'm not sure, but that's something that I'd like to hear the perspective of other people in what they thought about that. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's videos. Thank you so much.